Let me introduce to you guys Mr. John Dunlop of the ITF Global Products. John, I've known you. I'm watching you over your YouTube interviews. I've known you so much, and I really have high regard for what you have been doing, especially your values. But before that, I won't prolong anymore because I'm sure our audience are so excited to hear what you have to offer. So again, John, you have the floor with you.
Well, thank you much for inviting me. Uh, Good morning, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone. It's evening here, but you're correct. It's a whole new world of trade and trade transactions we're entering into. We have Starlink going up with thousands of satellites. Zoom is now reaching over 750 million people. And now we have the new e-rules for doing business over the internet instead of using paper. But let me kind of start and kind of take it from the top. My company that I work with is called ITF Global Limited, and my name is John Dunlop, and I am a trade management specialist with ITF Global. Our mission is to accelerate world's trade from paper to the internet under these new ICC rules, which were just published in 2019. These rules apply to 11,000 banks and every importer and exporter worldwide. What our company does is we manage international trade transactions between the importers and exporters without banks and without bank fees. We manage each transaction or case on our global business platform, bringing the buyer and seller into a Zoom conference call and sharing interactive document transactions. Documents include quotations, purchase orders, pro forma invoice, bills of lading, packing lists, invoices, and the like. These documents are all electronic and conform to the new ICC guidelines for electronic records under what is known as Uniform Customs and Practices 600 Supplement 2, or the short form, the EUCP. Most importantly, our company examines and negotiates the documents before payment. For the buyer and seller, we can issue documentary trade credits for a credit transaction with funds in escrow, or we can issue documentary trade payments for collection transactions with funds between the buyer and seller. Our fees, we invoice the buyer a flat fee for each transaction that is a fraction of commercial bank fees. There is no fee or cost to the exporter, and I want to reemphasize. We bill a flat fee for the transaction to the buyer. There are no fees for utilizing our services to the exporter. Now, the benefits of going online are basically two. For the seller, he gets paid in 4 days instead of 24 days that it normally takes with paper at no cost. For the buyer, he can reduce his cash flow by half as compared to a letter of credit transaction. For a collection transaction, we perform the same examination of documents as a letter of credit. To engage our services, it's quite simple. Simply send an email to member services at ITF Global or to myself, and we will engage and bring you up on the platform. Your turn.
Wow. you, I'm so flabbergasted about what you said. You're trying to make things a lot better, especially for the exporters.